down. Mahindra Logistics, though, is a company which posted good numbers in Q4. The company clocked in double-digit revenue growth, and EBITDA margin has also expanded by 40 basis points, though the net profit has been impacted by a bit of a one-off. We have Ram Swaminathan, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer at Mahindra Logistics, now joining us. Mr. Swaminathan, good morning. Thanks much for joining us. Double-digit revenue growth and good improvement in margin. Is that a trend that can continue?
Yeah, I think we've had a good morning. We had a good quarter, I think, from a revenue perspective. In fact, while the overall growth was around 10%, our e-commerce and consumer-facing businesses actually grew at twice that rate. So I think we continue to see that revenue growth sustaining itself. From a margin perspective, we had a challenging Q3 from a margin perspective, so that's started expanding back again, and we hope to sustain that improvement through FY23.
Okay. Thanks, Ram Praveen, for joining us. So you mean a 25% revenue growth is repeatable? As well, margins, what would it be? 5%? Is that what you're guiding?
So we don't give guidance, Lata, as you know, but I think that the growth momentum, I think the second half of FY23 will probably we are expecting a secular uptick across all our markets. So as you know, we have a large share of auto in our overall mix. We expect that should come back in a consistent way in the second half of this financial year. And we hope to sustain growth in the non-auto businesses, which we have been showing now for the last couple of years. So blended, yes, that's kind of growth outlook we have on revenue. And we do hope to kind of expand gross margins by 25 to 30 bips through the financial year, and that should largely flow down to the EBITDA line as well.
Mr. Swaminathan, good morning. Two questions. One, how is that 1,000 crore sort of order from Bajaj Electricals working? Could you provide us with some details? And second, warehousing yields came off quarter on quarter. Is that just a one-off, or does that point to any particular trend?
No, I think yields did not significantly change. It's probably just a mix issue, and as you know, we have windows where warehouses are not fully occupied, as we come off peaks. Typically Q3 versus Q4, yields in Q4 are a bit lower because we do see our temporary sites go down in Q4. We set up temp sites around the festive period, so that does impact yield a little bit. But no underlying change there from an overall perspective. I think the Bajaj Electrical project is actually coming along reasonably well. I think we kind of launched it in the middle of COVID. So we kind of said this earlier as well, that we expect the account operations are fully up now, but we expect optimization to go through the first quarter of this financial year. And that's when we'll start seeing material earnings impact of the program.
Which is Q1 23. Which is Q1 23.
123.
Okay.
But apart from that, the program itself has been moving along well. It's been impacted, obviously, by the repeated waves from the pandemic, but otherwise, it's going on in line with schedule.
Okay. Finally, Ram Praveen, what are firing as verticals, and will you enter new verticals? How much is coming from Mahindra in-house, the group? How much is e-commerce and any new verticals?
So I think the Mahindra business, if you look at our end markets, obviously Mahindra overall is now a little bit shy of 50%. And that's been a strategic move for us to grow the non-Mahindra pieces out with us. So that's kind of, it's by design. Now outside the Mahindra business, obviously for us, the big focus has been in growing our consumer and e-com businesses. Those have now, for the last couple of years, grown 20-25% year on year. And that continues to be a big focus area for us. From a services perspective, obviously we are focused on our freight forwarding business and our express and last mile delivery businesses, which all have been sustaining pretty strong growth, and we hope to keep that going in the next year.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Swaminathan. Appreciate you coming on here on CNBC TV18 to talk to us. The market is down.